the chair for the session, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It's my proud privilege to be the opening batsman for today's session. I'm going to take you on a journey what we have been doing for past few years at RWF. Basically, we are a red industry, but we are moving towards becoming green. It is quite obvious we are red industry. I think looking at this pictures, when you are forging about 250 axles every day and casting 700 wheels every day, it is but natural that Karnataka State Pollution Board will categorize as red industry. We are into manufacturing of wheels, axles and wheel sets for railways. A wheel is cast every 2 minutes, an axle is forged every 4 minutes, and a wheel set is formed every 6 minutes. We feel proud that we are the prime suppliers to railways, wheel axles and wheel sets for railways. More than 95% of railways run on our wheels and axles. They are fitted on a sub-assembly called bogie, which is below the vehicle. We started off in September to be precise, and we have come a long way, 35 years, when we have made many folds, wheels, axles and wheel sets. When we started, this was the site for our axle plant. This is a site for our wheel plant. When the plant was commissioned, it looked something like this. The foundation stone was laid in 1980, and between 1980 to 84, lots of leveling of ground, etc. has been done. And you can see, but for few trees, it's hardly having any vegetation. From that stage to 2020, you can see the whole plant is very green, and except for the covered area remaining, everything is very green. In fact, when we started, we were not on the map of Bangalore. This is a Bangalore map as late as 2002. And here you can see, if you look carefully, the Bangalore used to end at Jaipur. Yelahanka was shown, to Yelahanka and Hyderabad. So we were not part of the city till as late as 2002. But then now, things are totally different. RWF is sitting in midst of an area which is primarily residential. There are some institutional bodies like CRPF, BSF, Air Force, and lots of engineering colleges around us. So now, instead of being in a very remote and barren land, we are in midst of north of Bangalore, which is a very thriving area. That puts in a very unique position. Now we are almost like a red category in midst of the town. So environment has to be number one agenda for us besides manufacturing wheels, axles. And in RWF, environmental sustainability is defined. The core is statutory compliances, but naturally they are compulsory. Then we have a comprehensive integrated management system. But our environmental concerns go much beyond that. We have also adopted GreenCo certification mechanism, which is a basically framework which allows us to look all our environmental systems in a very comprehensive manner. RWF has been, even though it is a red category industry, we have been in an environmental leadership position. From the inception itself, the plant design is done in a very sustainable manner. We have covered area and outside covered area. Lots of open spaces are there where we could handle our byproduct of our processing. We had dust mitigation system from the very beginning itself. We have fresh air systems inside the plant, water recycling systems. We were the first in Indian Railways to get an environment management system ISO 14000 way back in 1996. In 2016, based on Railway Board directives, a Chief Environment Officer was designated and an Environment Task Force was set up. Further, we got GreenCo certification with a silver rating, and for past few years we have been bringing out all our environmental effort, collating it and bringing up annual environment handbook. The statutory compliances towards air, water, other solid waste management and other things are being fulfilled. I would just try to draw your attention to certain key projects what we have taken up. This used to be site outside our premises few years back. So this was an area of concern where when we do a specific operation during manufacturing of wheels for about 5 minutes, tremendous amount of dust will be released and some of it used to escape into the atmosphere and then settle down. We have put a secondary fume extraction system. We already have a very robust system of dust mitigation inside the plant. Inside the plant you have fresh air supply system which is covering the area where workers are working. Then you have a primary fume extraction system which are fitted over 3 of our furnaces from where the dust escaping from the furnaces is immediately sucked. Then this system was set up. The center portion around which this fly around is there, the structure in green and blue and red. That is a secondary fume extraction system which has been erected. It's basically like a huge kitchen chimney with hoods over each of the 3 furnaces which are sucking the fugitive dust and filtering it, and the fresh air goes out to the surroundings. So this project we have started about 2 years back, and because of this, the dust which is escaping into atmosphere has become virtually zero. Beyond compliance, we have taken a decision on our own to switch over from HSD to PNG as a fuel. We are very confident about whatever air quality measures we are taking, so much so that we have invited KSPCB to set up a national air monitoring station in our premises. It is one of the 13 stations which are monitoring ambient air quality in Bangalore. We have also set up some vertical gardens as well as fresh air supply system. Of course, we are blessed with a very good green cover. We have more than 45,000 trees in a campus of 291 acres spread over 3 campuses. We take care of these trees in good manner so that whatever little environmental effects are there because of our activities, they are mitigated by these trees. On energy management front also, several steps have been taken, HSD to PNG. We have gone for 2 megawatt peak solar installation. We have a hybrid solar cum wind installation also. Besides these, we have taken several operational efforts towards energy conservation, which have resulted in our specific energy consumption coming down from 131 kg oil equivalent for our imported product to 126. The baseline year is 2014-15, and in last 5 years we have been able to achieve a reduction in specific energy consumption of around 6%. But if you look at a wheel or an axle as a product, what do you see? Normally we think it is made up of steel, made up of other raw materials. But if you really see, besides the obvious inputs which goes into a wheel, there are certain things which are embedded which normally we don't bother about. Number one in that is water. Our cooling water requirement in RWF is to the tune of almost 2 lakh liters per day. If you take specifically for wheels, it will be around 1.4 lakh liters of water for cooling purpose itself is required for our furnaces and other equipment. If you are making 700 wheels per day, that translates to roughly 200 liters of water being embedded in each and every wheel which goes out of our system. Similarly, sand, we are doing casting, steel casting, so sand is one important substance which goes into the castings. In a day, we are almost using 24 tons of sand. Besides this, lots of other things like plastics which are used in incoming raw material, wood, etc. If you see, a wheel is not just a wheel which is made up of various constituents. It also has embedded water, embedded other material. Our efforts for last 4-5 years have been how we can reduce these. The first effort has been to take care of water. We have worked on a mission to make us self-sufficient as far as cooling water requirement of 2 to 3 lakh liters per day. This is basically a top-up water which we are using. And for that, we were fortunate, we were having 4 wells inside our campuses. So we have revived those 4 wells by creating an eco zone. These 4 wells are in the low-lying area on the north of the plant. We have created an eco zone there. This is a small clip which talks about our efforts in this direction.
The factory in Yelahanka, Bengaluru has set an example for others. The factory, which is spread over 191 acres, has become self-sufficient with respect to water needs. And for 6 months, the unit has not used Kaveri water from the Bangalore Water Supply and Sewerage Board. It began with officials reviewing wetlands in the compound and looking at recharging traditional wells. The rejuvenation happened mainly through channeling rainwater to a 1.5 kilometer area. Senior factory officials brought in experts to survey the campus to find a sustainable water management solution. The survey found that the campus was a low-lying area surrounded by water bodies. And now sufficient water has been stored for use during the harsh summer. Old pump sets have been replaced to deliver water where it is required. The management is now looking at rejuvenating more of the wetlands.
So as all of you are aware, some time back, about 2 years back, there was a severe water crisis in Bangalore, and they told that after Cape Town, Bangalore is soon going to run out of the water. So actually, our efforts came very timely. Besides development of an ecozone which have come up there, it's having lots of flora and fauna, as you can see, and we are very proud to have, besides other bird, a resident population of about a dozen peacocks also in our campus. So since our efforts were noticed outside also, and we got some media coverage where our water conservation efforts and all were taken note. Besides the revival of these 4 wells, we also went for rainwater harvesting in a big manner. We designed a special rainwater mega harvester, which you can see on the top, set up in green, where we collected all the water from rooftop. We immediately sedimented and filtered it and directly injected it into our cooling water system. Now 4 of such installations are there. Each of them is yielding around 40 to 50,000 liters of water every rain. So collectively we are getting almost 2 lakh liters of water, rainwater, fresh rainwater during every rain from these installations. Then we have moved on to another project in which what we have done, we have a very good extensive open drain system which captures runoff water. We have diverted this runoff water to a sedimentation cum filtration bed which we have created next to our pump house, and from this also you can see this is just after rains, how much water we are getting. This water is coming free, no pumping, nothing, it's just rainwater which is directed from stormwater drain and sedimented and filtered and directly again injected into the cooling water system. So between the rainwater mega harvester and this sedimentation and filtration bed what we have created, every day it rains, we are getting almost 4 lakh liters of water, which is much beyond our requirement of 2 to 3 lakh liters every day. So now we are working on a project to store this extra water so that we will become quite self-sufficient. Of course, even though it is an environmental presentation with not much of data, but this graph is there which shows from, this is what was our water requirement for cooling water purpose, which we were getting from BWSSB. So our cooling water, part of it comes from BWSSB. We started this project in June of 2017, and from September 2017 onwards, actually our water requirement from BWSSB dropped to 0. Only beginning of the previous year, we had rains which were depleted, because of which we had to get some water from BWSSB. Otherwise, more or less, we are self-sufficient. Based on our last experience in January, February, March, what we have decided to sink 2 more wells, because our basically seepage rate into the 4 wells was not adequate. So we are confident that this year onwards, we are going to become totally self-sufficient as far as raw water to plant is concerned. We take pride to be ultimate recyclers. The main raw material for our product wheel is the old wheels and axles which are rejected coming from all over the Indian railways. But we have started seriously working on sand reclamation, which as I told, 24 tons every day we are using. We have set up a sand reclamation plant, and this is going to be functional within a month's time. On different material projects have been taken up, different solid waste management teams have been made, and some of the projects I'll just mention. I'm not going to go into details. We are doing our wheel manufacture in graphite mold blanks. We have started using them little bit extra by using end of life molds also with some wafer molds. We are from that up to the extent of refurbishing sampling spoons, which are a smaller item. Graphite dust is generated during manufacturing, machining of our molds. That also we are recycling and putting it back into furnaces. We are not doing much of packaging for our product because they are bulk products, wheel and axles and wheel sets. For wheel sets, we have designed a coir-based packing material, which is going to replace HDP packing for our wheel sets. We are shifting our focus to downstream also. We are working with our vendors to rework the packaging of all the raw materials and other components, etc., what we are getting. So waste disposal trains have been made and different areas have been identified. Of course, one of the big item which is generated apart from the used sand is slag and skull, which we are auctioning. People are there who are buying it for co-processing in other industries like cement and fertilizer industry, etc. So majority of our process waste is getting fully reused. We have gone to the next extent of seeing which movements inside the plant we can optimize so that forklift movement will be lesser and the raw material unnecessary handling will reduce. So besides other things, this will also reduce consumption of HSD. On the bio part, we are doing vermicomposting. We have put up a biomethanization plant because we have an in-plant canteen. This can take up to 500 kgs of wet waste. Other waste management practices are also in vogue. We are taking care of our e-waste, biomedical waste. We have a 46-bed hospital also here. Municipal waste. There are issues with that. We are setting up systems. And of course, all of this is not possible until deep employee engagement is there. So we have got different schemes. We have Energy Star of the Month for a person who is doing best energy conservation measures. We are doing Shramadhan at various occasions. Then all our employees who are retiring, they are planting a tree in our campus and then they are going out. We are bringing out World Environment Day, of course, is being celebrated in a grand manner in which technical session by domain experts are there as well as awareness events are there. So with this I'll conclude my brief presentation on an overview of what RWF is doing. We take pride that we are moving the nation, being the main supplier for wheels and axles for our main transporter of the country, which is Indian Railways. Till now we have made more than 38 lakh wheels, 19 lakh wheels and almost 13 lakh wheel sets. Now we want to do everything, making wheels and axle more and more sustainably. Thank you very much.